All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to what is the band Kingdom of Germany group. This is very interesting. We're gonna get a little bit into politics here. Make sure you like and subscribe. That way we can just reach to millions of people. Champagne.
We begin with breaking news. Germany has banned the group known as Kingdom of Germany, a prominent faction of the far-right Reich citizens movement. The German Interior Ministry said police had raided properties of key members, including that of founder Peter Fitzek, across 7 federal states. The group, which has established a self-proclaimed counter-state and even issued its own currency, has around 6,000 followers. German
Their own currency? What in the hell?
Interior Minister Alexander Dobrindt says the group uses anti-Semitic conspiracy theories to support its claim to sovereignty, behavior that he said cannot be tolerated in a state governed by the rule of law. Let's get more from DW's chief political correspondent Nina Haas. Nina, what can you tell us about this group that has now been banned?
Well, they call themselves the Kingdom of Germany, and the abbreviation in German is KRD, and I'll use that just to make things easier. So they are considered to be the largest association from the so-called Reichsbürger, so Reich citizen spectrum, and overall Germany's intelligence agency estimates that there are some 25,000 Reich citizens in this country, and the group that was banned now is...
Wow. 25,000. That is actually a large number, guys. That is actually a large number. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a large number. Imagine a football field. Half of the football field. You can see 25,000, right? That's a lot of people, folks. You don't know, they might be scattered, but that means it was picking up some momentum.
Is estimated to have some 6,000 followers. So who are they? Who is the KRD? Now, they don't recognize the Federal Republic of Germany as a state. They want to replace the system of this country with their own. They want to create a state territory that essentially would have the borders of the German Reich of 1871, hence the name, Reich citizens. So they don't recognize democratic constitutional structures, parliament, laws, courts, etc. They also don't want to pay any taxes or fines. And as for this particular group that was founded in 2012, they're accused of having set up a counter-state and to have used illegal banks and financing methods in order to expand their influence and extend their territory. And Germany's interior minister said that the KRD underpinned their claim to power with anti-Semitic conspiracy narratives.
So they wanted to create a double government or shadow government to create enough momentum where they can overthrow the current government, even creating banks. How the hell you do that? How in the hell you even do a banks where you can, with a currency that is not even real, unless you say, okay, so for €2, we're gonna have 1 piece of that coin, whatever, right? So, because you have to make a better currency, right? So you have to say, okay, in order for us to even do something like this, we have to go all the way out. So let's say €5 is equal to 1 coin, right? You have to start like that, so 1 coin. But then how do you create even value in that coin? Right? You can give the artificial value, but how do you give real value?
So what's been happening today then?
Well, Alexander Dobrindt says that they started a big raid this morning with hundreds of police officers searching properties and the homes of leading members in 7 of Germany's 16 federal states, both in the east and the west of the country. And the goal was to confiscate some assets and secure further evidence that they indeed are aiming for anti-constitutional goals and activities. And they also arrested 4 alleged ringleaders, including the founder of the KRD, and this is a man called Peter Fitzek. So these are all German men aged between 37 and 59.
Wow.
They have been taken into custody on Tuesday morning, and they are to appear before an investigating judge in Karlsruhe on Tuesday and Wednesday. And there was also a search in a home in Switzerland.
And this is also the latest in a series of legal crackdowns on far-right organizations. How big of a threat are they for democracy in Germany?
Man, well, those are those are strong words, man. How big? Go to democracy. I mean, I feel like a bunch of dudes trying to just supposedly live a fantasy about having a different government. I don't think they were doing anything wrong, but I might be wrong here. I might be wrong.
I think you have to be really specific what you're talking about, because the Reich citizens themselves, that is a scene that is extremely heterogeneous, both organizationally and ideologically, and the security authorities don't yet believe that they have a uniform movement. So some of them are essentially really just people who don't believe in the current German state. Others are willing to take up arms and overthrow certain representatives of this current state. But definitely what is true is that all German intelligence agencies are in unison now, and that is a different situation to a few years ago, that right-wing extremism, when it compares to left-wing extremism, is a much bigger threat.
We'll leave it there for the moment. Dieter?
Well, you don't know that. You can say that, but you don't know that. Saying it doesn't make it true. You see what I'm saying? Saying the fascist of the right is more violent, or saying this the left side is more violent, it doesn't make it true, guys. You have to do like a more detailed analysis of which facets. And why would you call these people like a right wingers? Like, that's weird, man. How do we get to this point?
Nina Hauser, thanks so much.
How do you get to the point that these people are right wingers? I don't know. I guess so. When you take your alarm too far, let's start to count down for Vance and his fascist tech boys to batch us for censorship and anti-democratic behavior. We have such groups in South Africa, Orania. When we speak out, they report to U.S. and say we are racist. For everyone who thinks democracy is in danger, you serious, brother? In a democracy like Germany, what is allowed? Believing in monarchy, talking about your political views, even forming a group that legally promotes different idea. What is not allowed, undermining the Constitution, it's true. Setting up a parallel government. This is the problem right here. With your own currency. This is it's a soft coup. It's a very soft coup, because what you're doing is you're creating you're basically creating a snowball effect to get to a point where, right, you want to overthrow the government in the long run. Encouraging people to not follow state law, that's true. Being connected to extremists and terrorist linked groups, this is true. Germany didn't ban the group for having weird opinion. They banned it because the group created an illegal state. Yeah, and this is the problem. If they wanted to just be together and just create this fantasy of having a different government, but not serious, that's fine. But to create a position where they wanted to just create their own government inside a country, that's something else. Let me know what you guys think, guys. I will see you next one.